So the other day, someone's asking me about Soulherder. I'm like, you know what? This deck is like a little too clunky. It's like too fancy. You know, it's not really putting pressure on the opponent. It's just sort of playing around. Just I don't know how to put it, but you know, it's just not really putting. It doesn't put pressure. They're just dirtling around with themselves. All right, so I haven't so quickly eaten my words in a long time, but here we are because Soulherder won the Modern Challenge. They won the Modern Challenge on Sunday. In fact, they weren't even the only Soulherder deck in the Modern Challenge top 32. There was a second one, but we can look at this one very quickly. Teferi Time Raveler. What are the new cards that this deck has adopted? And of course, the Soulherder deck has been around since Ephemerate was printed in Modern Horizons 1. Ephemerate actually sees a lot more play than that. Might have been like one of the larger sleeper cards. It just usually, in my opinion, still sees play in mostly the jank decks, but the more janky looking decks. We aren't very consistently seeing Ephemerate decks at the top, but we do see Ephemerate decks. There are decks built around Ephemerate. All right, so we got Deputy of Detention, Adraneth Magistrate, Eternal Witness, Knight of Autumn, Meddling Mage, Noble Hierarch, Sanctifier, Anvek. That's a new one. That's a new one they could adopt from Modern Horizons 2. Skyclave Apparition, Solitude. That is a new card. Very, very useful, I think, in this deck. So it actually, I mean, I guess it gives them more room to dirtle around, you know, doing their sort of blinking thing, get value, while still interacting with the opponent. And this deck, I mean, when you let it, when you take your eyes off it for 1 second, it's going to start drawing a bunch of cards and get a bunch of value. So the pitching anything to Solitude, not a big deal. Not to mention, of course, you can just ephemerate it. So what you do is so how many you get? You'd exile 3 cards, you'd end up with a 3/2 lifelinker. I think this is far more devastating of an interaction than, say, Grief, because your opponent sunk mana into playing their creatures. They're on the battlefield, and then all of a sudden you exile it, then you blink your creature, you exile another one, and then you're gonna obviously ephemerate on the rebound and blink this thing again and exile a 3rd creature. That is OP. So we got, of course, the namesake card Soulherder. Not a lot of Soulherders in a Soulherder deck, it seems. Stormhorn Dignitary, Thassa Deep Dwelling. It's sort of nice to see that card seeing play. Venser, Shaper Savant, Wall of Omens, and I think... Oh, they're playing Abundant Harvest. Interesting. Never thought I would see that in this deck. And then Prismatic Ending, in my opinion, like the best removal spell in Modern right now. Or one of the best. Maybe the best is a bit strong. It's very versatile, people. It's very versatile. And if you're playing 3-4 colors, why not? Why not? Anyway, Soulherder won the Modern Challenge. Can it keep its title? We're gonna have to wait and see. It's not the first time it's won a Modern Challenge, that's for sure. This is like, I don't know, 2nd, 3rd time. Soulherder has what it takes. If you can't take if you forget about what Soulherder is all about, Soulherder can come out of nowhere and start winning tournaments again. All right. So everyone, welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. And also we do Decklist reviews. So if you got a 75, you want some feedback on, submit to us, and both myself and the community will give you that feedback. So brew up your cups of coffee. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for June 15th, I think. 15th of 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Walter. Good morning, Rebecca, MTG Ectoplasm. Manuel, Mareep, James, good morning. Sir Butterballs, good morning. Bruno, Lucas, Andreas, Michael. What's going on? The rest gets cleanup after. Maybe I missed your first question. Oh, first 100 likes gets Nikachu love. That's right. Borks, Velky, Mikey J, Galactic Center Core, Leon Taz, Velton Vosh, Thomas Perry, James, Direwolf MTG, Ran Muke, Soulherder. Wonder what does that deck blink? Well, more than just Soulherders, apparently. Also Solitudes. Maybe we got to rename the deck to Solitude. We're going to rename the deck to Solitude. Good morning, Calvin, Barbell, Boa, Steven, Scrubbin, Scrubs. All right, good morning, everyone. So you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments. Let's get started with Velky. Do those streams start for the others while Nikachu is already talking, or is it just the internet being slow in Poland? No, I think everyone is on a lag of about 10 seconds. So everyone, I'm late by like 5 minutes almost every single day, so don't worry. It's not that the lag isn't that bad. The lag isn't that bad. You all see it at the same time. Thomas Perry asked, should us elves players develop a strategy without Coco? You could try. I mean, I'm all for trying new things. But I don't think you need to. I think elves is fine with the Coco card. I think Coco is probably one of the better cards for elves because you can... It's a 2-for-1 and it's at instant speed. So that helps you versus attrition decks. That helps you against control decks. You want the Coco. I think Coco is good. Ban Soulherder now and print more control cards. No, that's not necessarily what we have to do. I'm sure some deck is just going to wipe Soulherder out of its misery. Soulherder has what it takes to win a tournament. It's got that power, but I don't know if it has what it takes to stay there. I don't know if it has what it takes to stay there. Thomas Perry says, man, this Modern Horizons 2 post-Uro meta is so healthy and diverse. It is. It is pretty healthy and diverse. And what's funny is that when they were building Modern Horizons 2, they were playtesting a meta with, like, what, Simian Spirit Guide, Uro, Oko. Maybe not Oko. Oko got banned at that point, but Uro definitely was still around. So they had to playtest in a much more hostile metagame. But, I mean, the key thing is that there isn't one deck dominating everything. There isn't one deck dominating everything. But let's take a look at the entire Modern Challenge Top 32. I think people are done experimenting, and they're going back to what works. We see Blue-Red Prowess has come back. We see Healed Company has come back. We see Amulet has come back. The Yorian Taxes deck. Well, I don't know. Is this like a really Yorian Taxes deck, or is this... Yeah, this is Taxes enough. This is a taxing enough deck. The funny thing, Ad Nauseam coming back. I've already seen Ad Nauseam have quite a few results. Quite a few. Turns out you can just build your deck around Thassa's Oracle. And go for it. Anyway, it is still pretty healthy. No one dominant deck just ruining the metagame. Jojo, what do you think about Esper Sentinel? And do you think it has a home outside of Hammer Time? I think the card... I don't like the card overall. Because it doesn't prevent your opponent from doing anything. So it says whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player pays X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. So fact of the matter is you give your opponent the choice to not play non-creature spells unless it benefits them. So I'm not in love with these sort of effects. But maybe in practice this is pretty good. I mean, I think especially in a humans deck where they can pump the creature's power up, well, maybe not that by much. There's not that many cards that pump up the creature's power. I don't know what can I say. Whenever you give the choice to the opponent, they'll always choose so that you don't benefit from it, and they do. If you're not careful, Soulherder will take your lunch money. Mad Gummer, what do you think about Genetron on the current meta? I think it's fine, but we have no results. There's nothing. It's like the Genetron players are scared out of their boots to play here. Like, is there any Genetron here? I don't think I've seen a single Genetron deck ever since we've hit the new metagame. And I don't even know why. I look at outside of maybe Amulet, like, I don't see them having a particularly terrible matchup against anything. Like, it's just not like, I don't know, this metagame doesn't seem like particularly, they shouldn't be I don't think they should be scared of humans. I don't think they should be scared of what's it called? I don't think they should be scared of humans. I don't think they should be scared of Heliod. I don't think they should be scared of, like, Stoneblade. It's not that bad, but we have no Genetron. I think Genetron should be fine. I don't know. Maybe they're just scared of all the new hate cards. They don't even want to try to play Tron. And then after a long period of time, people will realize, hey, Tron is still good. You know, they'll wake up. Urza Saga will be banned. Not anytime soon. So we need to wait for one deck. One deck that will dominate over all other decks to prove Urza Saga needs to be banned. But right now, it's in an okay spot. Dan W, is Torpor Orb one of the best hate pieces in Modern? Should we pick them up now? Good question. Does it interact with Soulherder? I guess so, yes. Does it interact with Prowess? No. As more food? I want to say no. Green-White Heliod Company? A little bit, but not really. It's like you just interact with Skyclave Apparition, so we'll just say no. Hardened Scales? No. Kiki Cord? With Yorion? Probably sort of. Amulet Titan? Not really, because they can play a Primeval Titan, but then they can attack with it. Stoneblade? Not really. I mean, if you can get it out before the Stoneforge Mystic comes out, but it's still a sort of an awkward card in the matchup. Ad Nauseam? No. I'm going to say no. It's good against taxes, good against humans, but there's just not enough of that. Jojo. Also, what do you think of Asmore Dax playing Finale of Devastation? I think it's amazing, and I'm sad I didn't think about it before. Finales are almost 20 ticks on Magic the Gathering online right now. Didn't think about it either. I've seen a build. I think Doomwake is working on a build with Finale of Devastation. Didn't think about it at all. Search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with convert mana cost X or less put onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X/+X and gain haste until end of turn. So it's just 2 mana put in Asmoran into play, right? Basically. Not bad. Not bad at all. Extra Asmoranos in your deck. Not to mention, you can get anything else if you want to. Great card. I think it's a good idea. Has there been any results for Enchantress or Reanimator? I think there was some early on results for Enchantress, but I have not seen almost any Reanimator stuff. Very, very little Reanimator. In the first week, there was quite a bit of Enchantress. I don't see it, though. Black Vic, do you think Ignoble Hierarch makes Jund playable without Wrenn and 6? I would say so. I think Wrenn and 6 is overrated. There are some matchups where Wrenn and 6 is great. I think it's going to be good against like creature-based matchup where they have a lot of 1-toughness creatures. I also think it's very good in the control versus control because you grind like an extra card every turn. You can bring fetch lands, but you can also bring the Horizon lands. That's an extra actual card every turn. But like I'm not that impressed with Wrenn and 6. There's a lot of decks that, I mean, what does Wrenn and 6 do against Amulet Titan, for example? I mean, they don't care. So there are pluses and minuses, but does Ignoble Hierarch make Jund playable without it? I would say yes. The only problem with Ignoble Hierarch right now, only problem is that it's a 1-toughness creature in a world with lava darts. And that really sucks. That really, really sucks. Anyway, I do think it's playable. Prize Fighter. Is Blue-Red Delver / Dragon's Rage Chandler and Murktide here to stay, perhaps? I don't know about the Delver part of it, but Dragon's Rage Chandler already seeing play on a lot of decks. It's just a way better Delver. Like, this is everything Delver wished it could be. You don't need to depend on your opponent at the top of your deck. You very easily can put creature, instant, sorcery, land into your graveyard. You get the Delirium, and you have a 3/3 flyer, and you're sculpting the top of your library. No matter what, you're sculpting the top of your library. You're going to draw infinite gas. That is something Delver decks couldn't do. So I don't know about Murktide Regent. I mean, it's a very good card. I don't know every deck that's definitely going to be playing with it, though. Dragon's Rage Chandler, 100%. RG, good morning. Is there any chance of Ragavan being a card on the chopping block? I love the card's design and want to try it out, but 50 euros a piece is a lot to ask. Saw it in Jeskai Blade. We still need to wait a lot more on Ragavan. I don't think enough people own them yet online to know for sure. But as supply enters the economy, more people will play Ragavan decks and see if it's really broken. So far, my impression is that it's a pretty fair card. It's a pretty fair card. It doesn't have haste. You have a turn to kill it. Even when it connects, I have not necessarily felt the snowballing effect. The extra mana is very convenient for the opponent, but it, like, the whole thing about drawing a card from your opponent, it's not guaranteed at all. It's like very, like, I don't know, people, they take a Master of the Pearl Trident off my deck. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to cast it? You only have like one treasure token. So anyway, it's not guaranteed. It's more awkward than it looks. So Ragavan's probably here to stay. But we don't know. It's a card that needs to be put to the test. It's a card that needs to be put to the test. So far, I think it's more safe, though, than, say, Urza Saga. Urza Saga is definitely more in the... Urza Saga has a really high chance of getting banned. Only because it can tutor. So if it isn't broken today, it'll be broken one day. One day it'll be broken. Martin McRae, what are your thoughts on Forsaken Monument in AG-tron E-tron's shell? Is that Lord artifact? Yeah, it is. Useless in G-tron because they don't play that many creatures. But if you want to talk about E-tron, it's okay, but you have better options. You just have better things to do once you have 5 mana. Like cast Reality Smasher, or if you've got Tron mana, you should be playing other much bigger things. It's okay, but it's not great. Maybe you can put in your sideboard if you want to. Go get it with Karn the Great Creator. If you really need life. Frederick asked, Mono Green Warrior Elves you play at Christmas wasn't playing Coco. Still a very good deck with Quirion around. Oh, did they replace Collected Company? And I didn't even notice. Are some builds not running Collected Company? I mean, I can believe it. What about 8th place Arbiterless Death and Taxes with Imperial Recruiter? It's Death and Taxes minus Leonin Arbiter. Now, I don't know for sure if this is the direction that we should go, but Ross Merriam said, hey, Arbiter's garbage. Why are we playing Arbiter and Death and Taxes? It's over. So anyway, he believes that we should not be playing with Arbiter. And I guess some people took his advice, and now Death and Taxes is for now multiple modern challenges being built without Leonin Arbiter. Faithless Salvaging, better than expected. Phoenix is back. It is better than expected. It is better than expected. Let's look at the card. It's that rebound. The rebound helps a lot because what ends up happening is, okay, so on turn 2, you don't get those explosive turns on turn 2, that's for sure. But you have, it's almost like a Manamorphose in some way, because on turn 3, you get this card for free. You can discard a card and draw a card. So essentially, between turns 2 and turn 3, you did discard 2 cards. So you could discard 2 Phoenixes. And because you already cast a spell for nothing on your turn 3, you can just play 2 spells and boom, your Phoenixes are back. Maybe Phoenix can be back. Steve Fink, are we back to the era of watching the meta instead of building the silver bullet deck? No, I mean, in any meta, people are still trying to build the silver bullet deck to see what can cut through everything. But no silver bullet deck is all around good. Everything still has a weakness to it. Everything loses to something. Except for maybe Amulet Titan. I think Amulet Titan might be the best deck right now. Will the Blue-Red Blitz still be good post-Modern Horizons 2? It is. It's still putting up results. Did Amulet go away? Nope. Amulet is still really, really strong. It's strong in here. So we've got Amulet Titan. How many Amulet Titans? This one has less Amulet Titans. 2, 3 Amulet Titans. Look, Amulet Titan, even with 3 copies, was the most popular archetype. Now, if we go to Saturday's challenge, which is even more egregious. There's like Amulet Titan all over the place. Amulet, 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 Amulet. How many? Oh, they didn't organize the... Oh, no, they did. 5 amulets! Holy crap. 5 amulets. Amulet probably is the best deck right now. It just keeps getting... It doesn't matter what set comes out. They just keep getting upgrades. They keep getting upgrades. 3 Yoglists in the latest challenge. Me, Tom, and the boys are going wild. Absolutely. And you should. I mean, the deck was already pretty good. I think Tom Ross proved the point, making top 8s prior to Modern Horizons 2, and the fact that they're getting upgrades in Modern Horizons 2, I guess is pushing people to experiment with it, to try it out, and see for themselves how good this deck is. And it's doing well. So congratulations to the Yawgmoth community. Manuel Del Coco, I am still in love with Jund Death Shadow. Do you think it's the time to cut the Hex Drinker for 4 copies of Dragon's Rage Chandler, or maybe running a mix between both? You don't have to, but you know what? I would. I think Dragon's Rage Chandler actually fits the deck very well and still beats an Auriok champion staring down at you on the other side of the battlefield. So anyway, I would do that. And it would help you keep controlling the top of your library, because as you play spells, you get to put cards into your graveyard. Anyway, I would do it. Hex Drinker, I need to make a public service announcement. Hex Drinker was never good. This card was like $3 for a reason. It's not good. It's a 1-mana, 2/1 creature. Very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable. And also, just it requires an obscene amount of mana to turn online. It was just grossly overrated. It was only played recently because the Death Shadow players needed a way to beat Auriok Champion. All right, that's it. And also, it's like a convenient 1-drop to deal damage to the opponent quickly so that you can turn Scourge of the Skyclaves online. So it's got that going for it as well. But for the most part, it's not that good. Like, it's a grossly overrated card. It's just that, it was just somewhat positioned for the job. But if you look at Dragon's Rage Chandler, this is going to do the same job. It can deal damage to the opponent early, so you get Scourge of the Skyclaves online, but also it's just a 3/3 flyer to fly over the Auriok champions, in my opinion. You're not late. You showed up, so you're right on time, Doyles. Or Doys. Although we started about 25 minutes ago, so you take it for what it's worth. Is a Delver? Doomwake piloted a list to a 5-0, no Ragavan. I mean, I have to see it. I would have to see the league to know if Delver was the reason the deck did well. Because you can make a pretty good Izzet deck between, like, Dragon's Rage Chandler, Soulscar Mage, Monastery Swiftspear, and, like, Sprite Dragon. In no way do I believe that... I think Delver of Secrets sucks. Let's just put it that way. I just think the card sucks. It's a crappy card. There's a lot of great challenge results, although we've sort of looked at them more or less. Thomas May, what's your take on Cascade / Suspend decks, fair or broken, now that they are splashing blue for Force Negation and Mystical Dispute to protect the combo? I think they're really fair. I think they're really fair. If you're not prepared for them, they'll crush you. If you're prepared, you'll crush them. I think the sideboard hate is real. I think there's some really good sideboard hate against them. What do you think of red-white Death and Taxes with Yorion? I think they're very playable. Yorion has clearly proven its point that it is playable in the Death and Taxes decks. Those Death and Taxes decks have a lot of ETB triggers. And adding red for, say... They've already added red in the past for Magus of the Moon. Maybe that's it. But it was a very strong splash. Like, if you want to really hate out your opponent's mana base, you play with Magus of the Moon. And, adding Imperial Recruiter is great. I think Imperial Recruiter is very good in Death and Taxes. Spencer, do you feel that Burn will continue to be meta despite not getting any support in Modern Horizons 2 like the other decks? Yes, it will always be a meta call. Burn will always be a meta call. I don't know what else to say about that. Burn got like a little bit of support. Hey, if you don't like Flame Rift, that's your fault. They got something. It might not be better than what they already have. I wouldn't complain as a Burn player. They've gotten a lot of upgrades over the last few years that helped them big time. Things like, what was it called? Skewer the Critics was amazing. That dealt 3 damage and also helped them bypass Chalice on 1. They also got the Horizon lands, which I think Burn is probably one of the best Horizon land decks because they don't care about the damage that it deals to them, and they just care about like raw card advantage. There's some other card that Burn got. I don't have it off the top of my head. Sander, do you think Scales Robots Affinity will get more support in upcoming sets? No. They just fucking dumped a million cards on you. I doubt that they're going to get like any serious support in future sets. I mean, they're artifact decks, so maybe they'll print some. They're always printing artifacts, so you never know what new card that they'll print for it. But I don't think they'll like intentionally try to give Affinity or Hardened Scale something. Dream Purple Floyd. Everyone complains about Urza's Saga, but when you look at the challenge resorts, the card is not making a lot of top 8. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? Blasphemy. Okay, let's look at, what is this, the Sunday one? Okay, let's see how many Urza Saga decks are here. Okay, this one is not an Urza Saga deck. I know there's at least one. Here's an Urza Saga. Okay, we got one. We got one. The Hardened Scale. No, this is not Hardened Scales. This is Asmarano. Kuldakar. What do we got here? Heliod Company cannot use Urza Saga very well. We got another one. Mr. Siri. Okay, we got our second Urza Saga. What is this? No Urza Saga here. This is the other Soul Sisters one? Oh no, this is the sort of pseudo Death and Taxes deck. Oh, maybe, hold on. Is this? It looks like Soulherder without Soulherder. Another Urza Saga. 3 Urza Saga from the Titan player. Amulet Titan. 8th place, no Urza Saga. We have 3 Urza Saga decks. Everyone complains about Urza Saga. Is it not making top 8? I don't know. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? There's Urza Saga in here, in my opinion. We saw 3 of them. Oh, let's look at the other one. Okay, so this was I think this was the Sunday challenge. Let's look at the Saturday challenge, just for science. First place, no Urza Saga. Second place, no Urza Saga. Third place, Urza Saga. We got our first one. Fourth place, no Urza Saga. Fifth place, Urza Saga. Well, am I looking at the same challenge? Okay, I'm being a dumbass. Hold on. Are these the same? Well, they are. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that one doesn't count. Saturday challenge. Let's look at source. Okay, this count doesn't officially matter yet. Okay, this is a completely different modern challenge. So this is the Saturday challenge. I just had I had 2 tabs open. I thought there were 2 different challenges. Okay, no Urza Saga here. Deck 2, no Urza Saga. Deck 3, no Urza Saga. Deck 4, no Urza Saga. Deck 5, Urza Saga. All right, we have 1. Deck 2, we got a second Urza Saga down here in this Amulet deck. No Urza Saga here. 8th deck, Urza Saga. So in both Modern Challenge top 8s, we have 3 Urza Saga decks. Anyway, I think the point is refuted. For data, not science. That's correct. Anyway, we have tons of Urza Saga. And this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. I mean, it can come to a point where if people think like you can't win unless you're running Urza Saga in your deck, then we just might see a bunch of Urza Saga decks. All right. Pierce says, as long as people dirtle with silly decks, Burn will win games. Something like that. I mean, Burn... I think Burn is just better positioned when people don't have decks that beat Burn, if I could put it like that. Also, Burn is pretty good in an unknown meta. Burn also does better when there's not as much Amulet Titan around. Amulet Titan just crushes that deck, funny enough. Brandon Barrett, do you think Martyr of Sands or Soul Sisters decks could see play now that Abiding Grace is a card? I think I know what this card is. Yes. I don't know about Soul Sisters, but Martyr of Sands, yes, because they sack their creatures very often, and they want to return the creature card with mana value 1 from their graveyard to the battlefield. Again and again, it does benefit them. I saw one result for the Martyr deck somewhere in a Modern Challenge in the last 2 weeks. But I don't know if I could say that it's like a comeback or it's definitely going to see play. They definitely have a card, but they might still have to work on their overall strategy. One thing that sucks is they have a lot of 1 toughness creatures, and I mean, Izzet Prowess just eats that alive. Not to mention, I don't think they can beat like Healed Company and stuff like that. Giggles, how fun is Shardless Agent in Humans? So grindy versus Jund. I don't know what to say. I want to say that Shardless Agent doesn't work. There are some people very vocal about this. Well, let's look at a random... Yeah, let's look at Saturday Chat. Let's look at a random humans list. I want to see a humans list. 5-color humans. Do we have... This one is not running it. Okay, so we have this is a different... This is an Imperial Recruiter list. So the deal is, on like week 1, all the humans decks were playing with Shardless Agent in humans, but it doesn't make any damn sense. Because you can't hit anything good off your Shardless Agent outside of like Thals Lieutenant. All the hits are garbage. Not to mention you could also hit your Ether Vial. Magus of the Moon in the main deck, that is a meta call if I've ever saw one. And it looks like they've dumped it. And Humans still sticking around. Humans has dumped Shardless Agent. Like, it's a 2-for-1. You do get 2 cards, but you can't play it off of Vial. Okay, let's look at the Sunday challenge a little bit right now. Let's take a look at the Sunday challenge. Sunday. Where's the Humans list? Did they just dump Shardless Agent immediately? These are all different users that are... No Shardless Agent in here. Does anyone see? There's Elite Spellbinder in here. No Shardless Agent. Is Humans just well positioned out of nowhere? Because if like there's tons of humans lists showing up, and they're all different decks, and they all dump Shardless Agent. Maybe the verdict is it's no good. I mean, it had a lot of good results immediately out of the gate, but maybe the results were because Humans was well positioned. Maybe that's the reason. But they dumped Humans now. The Humans players have dumped Shardless Agent, or the only successful Humans players do not play with Shardless Agent anymore. Spidey Sense asks, what do you think about the new affinity decks playing actual affinity cards such as Frogmite and Thought Monitor? I think it's a flavor win, because, you know, in the past it was just basically a Metalcraft deck. They should have been called Metalcraft, not Affinity. So it's nice to see that Affinity is back to playing its own name. It's back to playing cards that it got its name from originally. 5-color Zoo is real? Absolutely. It actually is quite real. I did play against it once. I crushed it, but I'm a human. Sorry, I'm a Merfolk deck. Do you think Bluetron is still a viable deck? Yes, I do think so. By viable, I mean, yes, it's playable. Any good Enchantress lists? Nothing recently. Barbell Boa. I think Saga easily makes Titan the deck to beat. You know what? I could agree. I mean, Titan. The thing is, the Titan decks have so many damn cards now. I really want them to ban Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Just ban that card. It doesn't even... Or Valakut. I don't care. It's probably... The problem is if you ban Valakut, you ban the Titan Shift deck. The Dryad of the Elysian Grove banned the Titan Shift deck. They should not have access to Valakut. I think that's too much for that Titan deck. I think it's too much. And now that they can play Urza Saga, make construct tokens with all their damn mana, and also find Amulet of Vigor, it's just a little bit obnoxious. Carl Thomas, genuine question. Why isn't the Nightmare Cat a real thing in Modern? The Nightmare Cat? I'm not familiar with what that is. And I'll try to look it up. Oh, you mean Luris? Luris is a thing. It sees play in Luris sees play in Death Shadow, amongst some other decks. Yeah, ban Valakut. Well, I don't want Amulet to have access to Valakut. I think that's a bit too obnoxious, in my opinion. Love that it plays Valakut in 0 mounts. I know! I mean, that's so stupid. That's really stupid. Yeah, nice deck building you got there. Not to mention they can use the Valakut to give their Primeval Titan haste. So anyway, it's like, yeah, they're probably talking about Luris. Luris does see play, though. Anyway, it's a very stupid interaction. No mountains, plays Valakut, because ideally, the opponent should give... Your opponent plays Primeval Titan. Then now next, your opponent should have the opportunity to at least attack one more time and kill you. But it almost never happens because Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Then Primeval Titan, get the Valakut, shoot down your entire board, and then you're dead. You're just lost. So it's a bit... It's getting a little bit obnoxious. Or it was always obnoxious. They should just not have that interaction available in their deck. Owen asks, for someone who wants to play Modern but doesn't have Magic the Gathering Online or money, what do you recommend? You can play for free on apparently Untapped. I think it's GG. People play on Cockatrice, and also people play on X-Mage. People in the chat can spell them out for you if you want to find them. Also, you could just proxy the cards and play with your friends. You can, like, just print off the arts, sleeve them up, and boom. You can play Modern for nothing. Just with your friends. Unofficial Modern. Fraser asks, it's interesting to me that Monastery Mentor doesn't see more play. Is it just way too slow right now? Yeah, it's way too slow, because you have to play a 3-drop and then wait till the next turn for you to start getting value. Play on Tabletop Simulator? I have no idea what that is. Maybe that's another thing that you could use. Yeah, bro, go to Staples and print that stuff. So a lot of people say X-Mage is the best. Untap is fun. It's pretty big with MTG, but also has other card games being played. That's interesting. Okay. You know what time it is, people? It's time for me to experiment with something. Okay, be careful. Okay, I'm going to put the volume really low. Okay? Be careful. Can people hear this? Let me know if you can hear the music. If you can, I got to increase the music. I can't hear anything. No one can hear anything? Oh, you can hear it? Okay, so you can hear it barely. How about now? You can hear it good? We got to find out a good volume. I don't have... My mixer hasn't come in yet. It's too quiet. How about this? Is this a good percentage? I used to play off YouTube, and now I've ripped all the music, and Nikachu's got the music. I have the power now. I have the power! We're going to have good custom playlists for Decklist review. In fact, we might just have this for the entire show. Let me know what you think. Give me a quick vote in the chat. Like, what do you prefer? You prefer the chill music the entire time, or would you prefer like the sort of video game music the entire time? Because I could play the video game music from the beginning. My problem is I didn't want to run the playlist to the point where like the playlist is done and then it starts running into like copyright music. Chill, or maybe I can find some chill Pokemon music. But I need it to be like copyright free. This music's great for the intro. It is. Why not mix it up? It's good to have consistency so that everyone knows what to expect from Coffee and MTG. Well, that's what I use. I use Stream Beats. Nintendo Direct today, so it's only appropriate. Yeah, don't they have that E3 thing happen here? Let's get some Ocarina time in this bitch. I'll look for something. I'll look. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I have a huge playlist of stuff, and it's at the moment it's... Is it random? Hold on, let's... Do I have the shuffle on? Okay, I don't have the shuffle on. I have the shuffle on now. Okay. Anyway, it's Decklist review time. So if you got a 75 you want to share with us, go into my description. In my description, there is a link to my Discord. It's a wonderful Discord. Join my Discord. Then go to the channel Decklist Review and then use the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review. Holy crap! Chris Ross with the amazing, huge super chat. So I'm ready to try a different playstyle, but I honestly don't know what to invest in next. I have been playing Prowess since Cons of Tarkir. I have a Snow Stompy deck and a Gift Storm deck. Any ideas on something new for me? I was thinking Bluetron. Well, why Bluetron? Why not say Greentron or even like Eldrazi-tron? Eldrazi-tron is like a really, really strong deck. But if you want... So if you have... Okay, so you have a combo deck and you have a Stompy deck and you want something radically different, or even Greentron. Whatever, Bluetron is fine, but it's harder to play, that's all. Bluetron is totally fine if you want to go in that direction. Or you could just try to play an actual control deck. You know, a blue control deck. Huge dono, I know, huge dono. I think this goes down as like one of the largest donos on Coffee and MTG. Thank you very much so much, Chris. I will think about it. Okay, so like on the control side, you can play... You could, of course, play Blue-Eye Control. There's like Blue-Eye Control. You can play Mono Green Tron, Bluetron. I'm trying to think of decks that dominantly win without creatures, because you already have a Stompy deck. You said Luris Tron, but that also now it makes me realize there's also Grixis Luris Control. I'm not exactly sure what you're in the... Oh, Blue Moon is a nice one. I love Blue Moon. That is such a cool deck. Blue Moon is a really cool deck. I love that one. Anyway, so those are the suggestions for like playing a control-ish deck. But anyway, Bluetron is totally fine if you want to go that direction. I admire Bluetron. It's a mono blue deck, and it plays with a lot of colorless stuff. Really cool stuff. Need normalized volume? How do I do that? Like each song is like a little bit different in its like strength. I'll have to see what it sounds like on the replay. Is it too loud now? Because some of these songs are like louder than others, particularly these damn Mario Galaxy ones. No, it's okay. It's still good. A touch too loud now. It's strictly because of Mario Galaxy. You know, bring it down a little bit. Yes, it's too loud. Full volume you won't. I don't know, what do you mean full volume you won't? I think it's fine. It's just right. Whatever. We're gonna have to live with it like that. All right. Let's look at some deck lists. Wait a minute. Before we look at deck lists, gotta show it sponsors. They're not gonna pay me. All right, so we got Fusion Gaming Online here. What's the deal of the week? New deal? 15% off Strixhaven sealed product. Singles and sealed products. So you want your awesome Strixhaven stuff. They got some good cards from Strixhaven. Strixhaven came out with the goods. A lot of earth-shattering cards for Modern. You can get 15% off the Strixhaven stuff from FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget, you can get, in addition to that 15% off, you can get an extra 5% off if you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Do they have an example of all the awesome cards coming from Strixhaven? Or just the sealed products? I guess they're counting also these specialty cards, which is neat. Holy crap, you can get big deal on the counterspell. It's a 50 Canadian dollars. You can get it for 42 Canadian dollars. Remember, this is a Canadian site with Canadian dollars. I guess this is a good opportunity to snap up all these like gorgeous art cards. Oh, damn, they're like, I want all of them, but they're all like $40 each. You know what I mean? Is submitting a deck with no sideboard okay? Absolutely. There's so many people who don't. My stuff is all kitchen table jank, so no sideboard. That's all good. Yeah, we review that stuff. Anyway, we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online, and definitely the place to experiment all new versions of Modern decks. And the meta keeps shaking up week in and week out. What is the best deck to play? And also, what is the best build? We saw the Humans decks. They blew a Shardless Agent in the first week, and then they just completely dumped it the next one. Don't buy those cards because you never know what's going to be well positioned. You just want to rent what you need for every single week, and you can do that with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. All right, let's take a look at... Can I move these things? Oh, I can. Just going to change some stuff in the background for my convenience. Okay. Next person in queue, Dr. Docs. Congratulations, Dr. Docs. You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. Oh, God. It's a Mox field. This may or may not work. How do you guys like this song? This is like a chill Nintendo song. Okay, it works. Thank God for Firefox. Oh yeah, Trellin is great. Trellin is like the Mono Blue Tron player right now. The best streamer for Tron. I should also say the most consistent. All right, what do we got here? We've got Naya base aggro. Ignoble Hierarch. Naya. Oh yeah, so you need the red and the green. Okay, so that works with Ignoble Hierarch. Naya the Reliquary, Noble Hierarch, Renegade Rallier, Shardless Agent, Tarmogoyf, 2 of them, Territorial Kavu, Force of Resurgence, 4 Wildman from the Coddle, 4 Tribal Flames, 4 Lightning Bolts, Breeding Pool Forest, 2 Horizon Canopy. I'm sure your mana is fine. Cleansing Wildfire, Esper Sentinel, Path to Exile, Solid Pride Mage, Sanctifier on Vec, 3 Veil of Summer. I don't know how much I'm in love with the Esper Sentinel as like a sideboard card, but like maybe it's okay. Do you need to get to 3 mana? So, oh, you do. Neither Reliquary, Renegade Rallier, Shardless Agent. Yeah, okay. Ignoble Hierarch and Noble Hierarch work together. Yeah, Naya based. Naya, it's like mostly Naya, but it's got a little few other colors. Is it mostly? I think it's just Naya. Oh, it's Naya plus. It's blue Naya. We'll call it that. It's blue Naya because you're running Shardless Agent, and that's it. They haven't given a name to all the 4-color wedges yet, or if I can even call that a wedge. Called a 4-color party. Who is the Nikachu of Modern Death and Taxes? Spider Space. Look up Spider Space. Constant streamer. A lot of good results for Death and Taxes. How's the foiling on my new counterspells? Very pretty. Very, 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 very pretty. Yeah, this is Wet Naya. I like that. Wet Naya. I don't like the Tarmogoyf. I don't like it. Like, what are you getting in the graveyard? Maybe just land and creature. Sometimes this instant, sometimes a sorcery. I don't think the Tarmogoyf works in this deck at all. So I think this is the only thing that should be changed. And you could probably change it for, like, I don't know, 2 Path Exiles or something. Does anyone have a suggestion? Do the 4 colors have a name? I don't know about that. Maybe they are named. It's called Ink Treader. That doesn't sound like an official name. I don't think Wizards would call it this. Call it not black. Is every color but black. Is there maybe a little bit of black? Maybe not. There's probably like we have one swamp, the Zagoth in the Zagoth Triome. Surely should be running Draco. Do you know what? Okay, so hold on. Do we have the new Kavu? Yeah, let's play the new Draco. Why not? Like, this is the Scion of Draco. So this is the card for 2 mana because it costs 2 less for each basic land type that you have. So you can get this out in 2 mana. It's a 4/4 flyer. Each creature you control has vigilance if it's white, hexproof if it's blue, lifelink if it's black, first strike if it's red, and trample if it's green. But it's a 4/4 flyer for 2 mana. Like, you can't go wrong there. Basically, assuming one of them is a Zagoth Triome. Space has a YouTube channel. Can't find him. He has a Twitch channel. I don't know about a YouTube channel. Teferi says, wow, haven't tuned in for a while, but congrats on the huge viewership. It was under 100 last time I was here. Well, you were here in like January. I mean, this isn't even huge. We get to 600 usually. I study business in university. Okay, so let's take out 2 Tarmogoyfs. Let's take out... I don't know if I'm in love with the Knight of Reliquary. You can't even get it with Shardless Agent. You don't even have a lot of good hits with the Shardless Agent. Hold on. So if we take out... What's going to happen with Shardless Agent if we take out the Tarmogoyf and we put inside... Because you can't even hit Sign of Draco with... You can't even hit Sign of Draco with the Shardless Agent. So Shardless Agent overall is hitting Hierarch, Territorial Kavu, Voice of Resurgent, Wild Nikachu. That's not bad. Oh no, it hits Lightning Bolt and Tribal Flames. That's also really good too. Okay, I'm fine with this. We take out Tarmogoyf. I would rather take out also maybe some Knight of the Reliquaries. I'm not in love with Knight of Reliquary because it's just like it's a bit of a janky card. Or maybe not. Maybe it's good, but you should have some. Do you guys think that you can play like with at least 1 Ghost Quarter in this deck? Maybe you should have Ghost Quarter in your sideboard so you can tutor for it with Knight of the Reliquary. But at the very overall, I don't want to change too much. I would take out Tarmogoyf and maybe 2 Knight of the Reliquary if you think it's too clunky, or maybe 1 to put Sign of Draco. I guess this card might suck in multiples. Sign is 2 mana because we're gonna have our basic land types on the battlefield, and it'll cost 2 less. Not black is usually called Sugma. I have a feeling I'm getting in trouble if I ask you what that is, so I'm not. It won't work with Rallier and Shardless. I think it will work. I think it's fine. I have no problem with it. Like most of your hits are good. Kavu, Voice, Nikachu, Tribal Flames. I mean, it's a clean 2 for 1. I think you need at least 9 fetches in there. Breeding Pool, Forest, Horizon Canopy, Triome, Plains, Sacred Foundry, Stomping Grounds. You want how many? We have 8. Yeah, we have maybe we should have 1 less temple, 1 less sacred foundry for 2 more fetch lands. I could get behind that. I could get that. I could get behind that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, Elvish Reclaimer is very mana intensive. That's the problem with Elvish Reclaimer. Like, this deck wants to just tap out. So anyway, okay, so we'll take out Temple Garden and a Sacred Foundry for 2 more fetches so that you can reliably get your Triomes, because that's going to be important. I think that's it. I think the sideboard is okay. I think it's okay. It's fine. Maybe Esper Sentinel could be something else. I'm not in love with this card, but maybe it's better than I think it is. All right, so thank you very much for submitting the deck list, and good luck with it. Freck, also submitting on Moxfield. Everyone's submitting on Moxfield now. I like Moxfield, to be honest. I actually think it is the nicest presentation for deck list review, because it cleanly shows you the whole deck, and yeah, it just cleanly shows you the whole deck, and then you see this big card viewer at the top here, and it's just there. It just sits there. This is for Abzan Liliana's Contract. What the hell is this? When Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Oh, it's as simple as that, is it? The description? Nothing. Alright, we're on our own, people. So how many demons do you have? Or do you just not care? You just want the 4 cards. Birds, you're not a demon. How many demons? Oh. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness and gain all creature types. No, that's unique. So you want to play Liliana's Contract and Mirror Entity, and then basically for 0 mana. I'm assuming 0 mana. It's just this combo is off, right? But the hard part is having 4 creatures in play. And it's at the beginning of your upkeep, so you don't get this until next turn. And you're playing, but you are playing Collected Company, so you can just randomly splurt out a bunch of creatures at once. Yeah, we know we love, but deck stats. Yeah, deck stat. So we got Moxfield's at the top, deckstats.net is at the fucking bottom. That's how I look at it. Developers are really nice too. That's great. They listen. Do you guys have sometimes strange sounds from me? I'd have to hear it. Oh, was my mic acting up? Okay. I have to fix the mic, or do I have to fix the music? Maybe the music is interfering. What if I pause the music? Does it change? Is it a volume thing? I'm trying to play music on my computer. I hear peaks occasionally. Oh, maybe when I'm getting loud. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm going to replay the music. I'm just wondering if it has something to do with the music. I'm not playing from... Like, I usually play music from the YouTube, and now I'm actually just playing it from my desktop. Is this an unusual thing, or does it usually happen? Doesn't work. You can't activate before your upkeep. Well, sure you can, because you can Collected Company at end of turn, and then at your upkeep. Oh, hold on. You're saying, hold on. When Liliana's at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Okay, so my question is this going to trigger every single turn to check? Loud squeals. That sounds terrible. Okay, I'm going to listen to it on the replay. See what the hell's going on. There shouldn't be any mic feedback. overall. Yeah, hold on. Let's look up Mirror, and I'm gonna look up Mirror Entity and Liliana. Checks and triggers only if you have 4 or more. Oh, so there's never like at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. So you can't like in response. It never triggers. So is that our problem? That will suck for this particular player that wanted to play this deck. Oh, is it a lag thing? Interesting. Okay, so it's not my microphone. It might be lag. How good is my internet right now? Maybe poor. Okay, so we need the blue enchantment instead. Well, that's going to make this deck a lot worse. But this might be a very quick... Okay, so what is that called? It's called... Well, what I was hoping is you get the untap step, then you go to your upkeep, and then there would be a Liliana trigger to check if you have 4 demons. Like, it would go on the stack, and then if you didn't, it would just, you know, blank do nothing. Okay, so triggers only if. So this is Arcane Adaptation. Okay, so if you want to make this deck work, you have to play with this card. And there's just no way around it. Arcane Adaptation is a blue 2 generic enchantment. As Arcane Adaptation enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So you name Demon, and this is going to be harder to pull off because you're going to name Demon, but you can't find this card off of Collected Company. But this is the only way you're going to make Liliana's contract work. Because this is, yeah, you're not going to have an opportunity to ever turn your creatures into demons at the upkeep, because it's just, the beginning of the upkeep is just going to happen instantaneously, and then when you get the opportunity to play spells and abilities, it's too late, and you'll always be too late, and you can never play anything during your untap step. You're not allowed to. Sorry for the Sugma joke, truly love. Well, I love the Sugma joke. You just couldn't catch me. I knew what was coming. There is a changeling from Strixhaven that makes all creatures. Oh, so what is it called? Maskwood Nexus? Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay, so maybe that card will work very well. Maybe you got to replace Collected Company with this, because this is 4 mana. This is not bad, because it's an artifact. Also, it makes creatures. You can pay 3, tap, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with changeling. That's not bad. Arcane Adaptation over Mirror Entity. Yeah, it does fit the curve, but you can't find it with Collected Company, so it's pointless. So like, yeah, it's on curve, but you might as well not. You could just play like a bunch of other random creatures, and then for your 4 mana slot, instead of playing Collected Company, you play with this Maskwood Nexus. Anyway, but I think this is all we have to say, and then you gotta like come back with another deck, because this combo don't work. And then, but now it does if you use the Nexus, and it makes creatures. Alternatively, you could play Arcane Adaptation, but it's not a creature itself. I like Maskwood Nexus because it creates creatures, and it still does the thing that you want it to do. Don't you need the creatures to have different names for Liliana's contract? Let's look. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 more demons with different names, you win the game. That's fine. So, well, that's a good question. Does one of these shapeshifter creature tokens with no name count as one of them? I mean, more than one isn't going to work. But everything else will be a demon. Is there a reason why he's not playing with more changelings? Because I think the idea is to play... I guess they're just trying to play like a... just a green-white deck, or I guess... it's more Abzan, actually, sorry. So they're just planning to play like an Abzan deck, but that can randomly win with Liliana's contract. I think that's the idea. But I think that's the suggestion that we got to make. You got to throw in Maskwood Nexus into your deck. You could go Arcane Adaptation if you want to radically change the deck, though. But this, I think, would move the deck in a better direction while still like making the combo work off. So anyway, that's going to be it for Coffee and MTG today. Thank you very much, everyone, for the super chats. I really appreciate the support for the channel. The channel is doing great. We're bringing upgrades, and hopefully we're going to have some really fun stuff coming up in the next month or so. We're going to have like fun sound effects, better music. I got to separate this Mario Galaxy stuff. It's like way louder than everything else that I have in this playlist. If you want to watch the replay to Coffee and MTG, go check it out at Nikachu MTG streams. If I didn't get to your comments, questions, or deck list, hey, don't worry, keep submitting them. We do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square, but expect me to be late by like 5 minutes. If you want to support the channel and you don't already, you can always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You could also become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG, or you could hit the join button on YouTube. And again, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. We had a great discussion. A lot of cool topics to go over. Modern keeps changing, but is not busted yet. Not quite. And there's still a lot of room to explore and experiment in Modern. Hey, last week, the Shardless Agent was in Humans. This week, there is no Shardless Agent. Who knows what next week is going to bring. So, and also, like, Amulet is becoming a really popular deck. And as a result, Mill is actually becoming a very popular deck because it has a very good matchup versus those Amulet decks. So thank you very much again joining me and making me a part of your daily routine. And we'll keep brewing up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up Magic. See you guys next time.